6,700 families boarded a Disney cruise ship last week. They unpacked their bags, put their kids to bed, and woke up the next morning to an announcement that the sailing was canceled. Mechanical failure, trip over, Disney refunded the fare. But the flights home, the hotel nights, the vacation days that cannot be replaced, that is a different conversation. Here is the one thing every family needs before they board any cruise ship. Disney Cruise Line's newest ship, the Disney Adventure, home ported in Singapore, canceled its May 7th sailing after passengers had already boarded. Mechanical issue with the propulsion system. The ship could not depart. 6,700 guests were sent to hotels. Disney did what a premium brand should do. Full refund on the cruise fare. 50% off a future cruise, one night complimentary hotel, up to $500 per stateroom for other expenses, coverage for flight change fees. Here is what Disney did not cover: the international flights families had already paid for and changed at full fare, the 3 or 4 nights in Singapore they had pre-booked independently, the child care arrangements back home that got extended, the annual leave days that cannot be refunded. A comprehensive travel insurance policy with trip interruption coverage handles all of that, not some of it, all of it. And for a family cruise, the cost is typically $100 to $300 against a trip that costs several thousand. That math is not close. The 3 things your policy needs before any cruise: trip cancellation, trip interruption, and medical evacuation. That last one matters, especially on ships that are days from a hospital. If you want to know what policy I recommend for your specific trip, that is a conversation we can have in a free consultation. Link in the description. Royal Caribbean confirmed this week it is expanding its Port Canaveral operations, adding 2 Icon-class ships to home port there by 2027. For families in the Southeast, this matters. Port Canaveral is 45 minutes from Walt Disney World. The ability to combine a Disney park trip with a Royal Caribbean sailing out of Canaveral gets significantly easier when there are more ships, more departure dates, and more itinerary options. Kim and I have done this combination: parks first, ships second. It is the best of both worlds, and it works logistically when you plan it right. If that is on your radar, mention it in a consultation and I will walk you through how we structure it. Here is something that is going to affect almost every trip you plan this year, and most people are not factoring it in when they budget. Every major U.S. airline raised its checked baggage fees in the same week in April 2026. Delta, United, Southwest, American, and JetBlue all moved at the same time. Increases of around $10 per bag have become standard across the industry, with most carriers now charging $45 for a first check bag and $55 for a second on domestic routes. In 2018, the industry aligned at $30 per first bag. By early 2024, that crept to $35. We are now firmly in $45 territory across the board. And here's the one that surprises people the most. Southwest ended its bags fly free policy in 2026. That means there is no longer a major U.S. carrier offering free checked bags to the general traveling public. That era is over. For a family of 4 on a round trip, you're talking about $180 in checked bag fees before you have paid for a single meal or excursion. That cheap flight is not cheap anymore once you add what used to be included. Here's what I tell every client right now: 3 things. First, pay for your bag online at least 24 hours before departure. Most airlines offer a $5 to $10 discount over airport pricing. Second, if you fly more than once or twice a year, a co-branded airline credit card almost certainly pays for itself in waived bag fees alone. Most major carrier cards waive the first check bag fee for the cardholder, and often for companions on the same reservation. Third, if you are heading to a cruise port or a Disney resort, ship your luggage ahead through a luggage forwarding service. You arrive with a carry-on, your bags are in the room when you get there, and you paid less than the airline would have charged you. The bottom line, Budget an extra $50 to $75 per person per trip for airfare fees in 2026. The flight price you see on Google is not the price you are going to pay. Travel insurance is not optional. It is the difference between a canceled trip and a ruined one. If you want a recommendation for your specific cruise or Disney vacation, free 15-minute consultation, link in the description. I am Mark, and this is the Weekly Travel News. See you tomorrow.